You may have noticed little shifts in your body recently. Nights when sleep slips through your fingers. Moments when your thoughts seem just a bit slower. Or days when energy comes in gentle waves instead of steady streams. Perhaps your skin feels different, or your joints remind you that they need a bit more care. These are quiet messages your body is sending, not warnings, but gentle nudges to listen, to care, and to understand. Hello, dear one. I'm Dr. Margaret Hale. I've spent over 50 years caring for women like you, guiding them through the subtleties of midlife and beyond. Now, in my 80s, I often think of myself not only as a doctor, but as a grandmother, leaning across the kitchen table, sharing small truths that can make life a little smoother, a little kinder, and a little more joyful. If you stay with me today, I'll share some of those truths. And as we go, if you find this conversation helpful, you're welcome to subscribe so we can continue exploring these quiet lessons together at your own pace. Menopause is often framed as an ending, but really it's a transformation. Think of your body like a well-loved garden. Over the years it has grown strong, rich, and full. But now some plants need pruning, the soil may need replenishing, and certain flowers may bloom in new ways. The symptoms you notice, hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, or forgetfulness, are not signs of weakness. They are messages from this garden, signaling areas that need gentle attention and care. Take muscle loss, for instance. After menopause, women often notice that tasks that once felt effortless now take a bit more strength. Lifting a grocery bag, climbing stairs, or standing from a low chair may require extra effort. Biologically, your muscles lose some of their fibers and natural elasticity over time. And the hormone estrogen, which once supported muscle maintenance, declines. Imagine the trellis in your garden slowly aging. It doesn't collapse, but it needs gentle reinforcement. Simple habits, like light resistance exercises, or even daily walks where you consciously engage your muscles, act like tiny supports, keeping your trellis strong and upright. Bone health is similar. Bones are living tissue, constantly renewing themselves. As estrogen decreases, the pace of renewal slows, and bones can become more fragile. Many women feel this as a stiffness in their back, wrists, or knees. One patient of mine, Mrs. Klein, a retired librarian, told me she realized her kitchen chairs seemed lower than before. She had to hold on to the counter just to rise. A few small adjustments, like gentle weight-bearing exercises and ensuring calcium-rich foods are part of her day, helped her feel steadier. These changes don't reverse aging, but they nurture the roots of your body, keeping you independent and confident. Circulation and metabolism also shift quietly during menopause. You may feel warmer at night, or notice that meals digest differently. Think of your body as a cozy house with many rooms. Some radiators warm faster, Others need a bit more maintenance. Hydration, balanced meals, and consistent movement are like maintaining the warmth in every room, helping energy flow steadily and comfortably. Memory changes, too, are often gentle reminders from your brain. Perhaps you misplace your glasses, or names of acquaintances escape you for a moment. The hippocampus, a region involved in memory, works with changing hormone levels and slower neural connections. I often compare this to a library where a few catalog cards have shifted. The information is still there, just requiring a little extra attention to locate. Reading, puzzles, social conversation, or even simple journaling act like librarians, keeping your mental shelves organized and accessible. Mood shifts, restlessness, or anxiety can feel unsettling, but they are part of the same garden metaphor. Emotional well-being is rooted in physical changes, lifestyle patterns, and the subtle ebb of hormones. One patient, Mrs. Ahmad, a retired school teacher, shared that she felt inexplicably impatient at home. Together, we explored daily walks, gentle stretching, and a simple gratitude practice before bed. Over time, she noticed not a transformation overnight, but a steadier emotional rhythm. Night sweats and sleep disruptions are common messages too. Sleep is your body's quiet repair shop, where hormones, cells, and memories are maintained. When sleep is interrupted, it's like leaving the repair lights on in your shop. You can still function, but not as efficiently. A calm bedtime routine, cool bedroom environment, and avoiding heavy meals before rest act like closing shutters and dimming lights, creating a peaceful space for restoration. It's important to remember, dear one, that these changes are universal but experienced uniquely. No two gardens are exactly alike, and no two women experience menopause in the same way. The key is gentle observation and daily habits that support strength, clarity, and balance. You don't need to chase perfection. Simply tending your garden with care ensures that life continues to bloom beautifully, season after season. In these quiet years, strength is not measured by speed or endurance, but by your wisdom in listening to your body, responding thoughtfully, and nurturing yourself. Menopause symptoms are not obstacles. They are notes from your body's orchestra, inviting you to harmonize with yourself more fully. So today, as you notice these subtle shifts, be curious, not critical. Watch your garden, tend your roots, and adjust your trellis. Small, steady care can preserve your independence, keep your mind lively, and maintain your emotional balance. Now that we've explored the gentle messages your body sends during menopause, let's talk about how you can respond with care and respect for yourself. The first step is observation. Take note of small changes without judgment. Perhaps you feel more fatigued mid-afternoon, or your hands are stiffer in the morning. These are not failures. They are simply information, like reading the weather before tending your garden. One of my patients, Mrs. Thompson, noticed she was losing her balance while reaching for items on a high shelf. Instead of ignoring it, she added 2 simple habits: slow stretching each morning and holding on to a sturdy surface while moving. Over time, she regained confidence, and her daily movements became more fluid. This illustrates a principle I often share. Small, consistent adjustments nurture independence far more than occasional bursts of effort. Muscle and joint health remain central. Even gentle resistance, such as lifting light household items, using resistance bands, or practicing chair squats, acts like daily watering for your garden. Your muscles respond to these small stresses by staying firm, supporting your joints, and improving your circulation. A little goes a long way, and you can adapt movements to your comfort level. Remember, the goal is not to exhaust yourself, but to give your body the gentle reminders it needs to stay strong. Bone health deserves similar attention. Weight-bearing activities like walking, dancing, or simple step exercises stimulate your bones. Adequate calcium and vitamin D intake support this process, along with a well-balanced diet rich in vegetables, legumes, and whole grains. Think of it as nourishing the soil of your garden so that your roots remain deep and resilient. I've often seen women who incorporate these gentle habits feel steadier on their feet, more confident reaching for items, and more secure in daily life. Sleep is another foundation. Night sweats or hormone fluctuations may interrupt rest, but creating a calm bedtime routine can make a subtle difference. Lower the lights, keep your room comfortably cool, and avoid heavy meals close to bedtime. Even a few minutes of deep breathing or gentle stretching can signal to your body that it's time to rest. One woman I cared for, Mrs. Lopez, began a simple nightly ritual: a cup of herbal tea, a short walk around her living room, and 5 minutes of reflection. Within weeks, she noticed that even if she woke briefly during the night, she returned to sleep more easily. These small rituals don't eliminate changes. They support your natural rhythms. Mood and emotional well-being are intertwined with all of this. Social connection, creativity, and gentle mindfulness help maintain emotional balance. Writing a letter to a friend, calling a loved one, or taking a quiet walk outdoors provides more than just distraction. It strengthens your inner resources. Think of your emotions as delicate flowers in your garden. They flourish best with attention, sunlight, and occasional pruning of negative thoughts. Nutrition plays a quietly supportive role. Hormonal changes can alter appetite, digestion, and metabolism, so simple adjustments matter. Including protein with each meal supports muscles. Healthy fats nurture brain and heart function, and colorful vegetables and fruits offer antioxidants that help your cells repair and renew. Hydration is just as important, especially if you notice warmer evenings or night sweats. A well-watered garden thrives. Your body functions similarly. Another subtle area to tend is memory and cognitive clarity. Engaging your mind daily, reading, doing puzzles, learning a new skill, acts like pruning and organizing a well-kept library. Mrs. Ahmed, a retired teacher, shared that she began learning a few words of a new language each week. It wasn't about mastery, but about keeping her mental shelves active. She told me she noticed moments of sharper recall, not perfect memory, but more ease in daily tasks. These practices nurture your brain, just as you would care for any living part of your home. Hydration, movement, nutrition, sleep, and emotional connection. These are the pillars of gentle care. They don't prevent aging, nor do they erase symptoms, but they help you remain independent, strong, and clear-minded. Small steps, repeated consistently, provide more support than drastic interventions ever could. Think of them as routine tending of your garden, watering, weeding, and sunlight. Over time, the garden thrives quietly, without effortful drama. It's also worth noting that these adjustments are about you, not comparing to anyone else. Menopause and aging unfold differently in every body. You may notice certain changes sooner, others later. This is natural. Instead of worrying about what is normal, focus on listening to your body, honoring its messages, and responding with care. One of the quietest joys of these years is learning that independence and well-being come from small, deliberate, and consistent habits. In all my decades of practice, I've witnessed women who embrace these gentle adjustments, not because they had to, but because they valued themselves, retain their vitality, confidence, and clarity well into their 80s and beyond. They understood that aging is not weakness. It is a stage that requires wisdom, patience, and a nurturing hand. You can care for yourself with dignity, curiosity, and tenderness, and still feel vibrant and capable every day. So as you notice your symptoms, the heat, the fatigue, the forgetfulness, remember they are not messages of loss, but invitations to tend your body with the gentle attention it deserves. The garden of your life continues to bloom, even if some flowers shift their positions or change their colors. With mindful care, your roots remain strong, your branches flexible, and your garden alive with quiet beauty. As we move into the final part of our conversation, let's bring all these threads together. You've heard how menopause gently signals changes in your body, how your muscles, bones, circulation, brain, and emotional rhythms adapt, and how simple, consistent habits can help you navigate this stage with grace. Now, let's explore how to weave these practices into everyday life, creating a rhythm that feels natural and sustainable. One of the simplest ways to begin is to notice small pockets of your day where you can tend to yourself. Perhaps while making tea, you stand tall, engaging your core and shoulders. Perhaps during your morning walk, you swing your arms and breathe fully, reminding yourself that movement is nourishment. Or maybe before bed, you journal a few thoughts, letting your mind organize the day. These tiny rituals, repeated over time, become the foundation of resilience. Mrs. Rivera, a retired nurse, shared with me how she turned ordinary moments into opportunities for care. While folding laundry, she practiced gentle stretches. While listening to the radio, she lifted light weights. She didn't see herself as exercising in the traditional sense. She was simply moving with intention, nurturing her body while doing daily tasks. Over months, she noticed steadier balance, less stiffness, and a sense of quiet confidence. Your life, too, can be filled with these small acts of care, each one a gentle reinforcement for your garden. Another quiet but powerful support comes from your community and relationships. Staying connected to friends, family, or social groups nourishes your emotional garden. Conversation, shared laughter, and even quiet companionship support mood, cognitive function, and a sense of belonging. One of my patients, Mrs. Chowdhury, began hosting weekly tea sessions with neighbors, not for obligation, but for the simple joy of company. She told me it became the highlight of her week, providing both warmth and mental engagement. Nutrition and hydration continue to play their subtle role. You don't need rigid rules. Rather, focus on balance and variety. Colorful vegetables, moderate protein, healthy fats, and regular fluids nurture every system in your body. They help muscles recover, bones stay strong, and energy flows steadily. Think of it as adding compost to your garden. It enriches the soil, feeds the roots, and supports every plant to flourish in its own time. Sleep, too, remains a pillar. Gentle bedtime routines, a cool, dark room, and brief reflection or breathing exercises signal your body that it's time to rest. Even if sleep is sometimes interrupted, these small practices create a rhythm that helps repair, restore, and rejuvenate your body and mind. One patient, Mrs. Lang, began reading a few pages of poetry each night before turning off the light. She noticed that even when she woke briefly, she returned to sleep more easily, carrying a sense of calm into the next day. Your memory and mental clarity, which may feel a bit more fragile, can also be supported naturally. Daily mental exercises, reading, puzzles, learning something new, or even recounting stories from your life, help keep your mind engaged. Imagine a cozy library. When you regularly organize and revisit your shelves, you can find every book with ease. Your brain, like your library, thrives on this gentle attention. Emotional well-being, too, can be nurtured with small, mindful habits. A walk outdoors, a few deep breaths, journaling, or simply noticing the warmth of sunlight on your skin provides steady emotional grounding. One patient, Mrs. Patel, shared how she would spend 10 minutes each afternoon in her garden, observing her plants, noticing their growth and change. She said it reminded her that life unfolds naturally and beautifully, even when some things shift or fade. It is important to remember that aging and menopause are not signs of weakness. They are stages of life that ask for care, wisdom, and attention. Every symptom, every shift in energy or mood is an opportunity to nurture yourself, to adjust gently, and to remain independent. Strength now is about listening to your body, responding with kindness, and maintaining the roots of your life garden. As we close today's conversation, I want to reassure you, you do not need to rush. You do not need to fear. And you do not need to compare yourself to anyone else. Aging gracefully is about curiosity, gentleness, and respect for your own rhythms. The small, consistent habits you practice today, movement, nutrition, sleep, mental engagement, and emotional care, will support your vitality, independence, and joy. I hope this conversation leaves you feeling empowered in a quiet, gentle way. Menopause is not an ending. It is a transformation that can be approached with wisdom, patience, and love for yourself. Your body is still capable, your mind still lively, and your life still full of meaning. If you found this discussion comforting, consider subscribing. There is more gentle guidance ahead, more conversations about the subtle ways you can nurture your strength, clarity, and independence at your own pace. Thank you for letting me sit with you at this kitchen table today. Your garden, your body, and your life continue to bloom in your own time with your own care. Remember to observe, nurture, and listen. And as always, approach your days with gentle curiosity. There is always more to learn, more ways to care for yourself, and more quiet joys waiting to be discovered.